up in here. What up, what up, what up? Pseudo killers in the building. Got Chicago on deck, baby. We did look like we did good today. Chi-Town in the building. The Bears did good. We looked real good today. We pulled off a close one. It was a close one, but we pulled it off. So shout out to Chicago, man. Shout out. Man. Peace to everybody in the chat, man. Let me get everybody, let me let y'all get in here for a minute. Do this thing. Let y'all pile up in here for a little second. Late show, what up, what up? Got Jelanda in the building. What up, Jelanda? B-Mo in here. Kelly, I see you, Kelly. B-Mo is definitely in the building. B-Mo is definitely in the building. Tusama. Peace to everybody. Peace to everybody. This is gonna be a quick one, man. This ain't gonna be a long one. I don't know. Should I go all the way Bears? You did, or what? But yeah, this is gonna be a quick one. I just gotta address a couple things. Thunder, what up, bro? I ain't seen you, man. We're gonna be going live later on. You know, the pseudo killer's gonna be going live, man, later on. I just wanted to do a little solo thing real quick, kind of just to test out, see how this thing works, first of all. And, I just want to do my own thing for one time. The pseudo killers get on my nerves sometimes, man. They be tripping. Yeah, but Thunder, man, we gonna be going live a little bit later, man. You might want to stop through, man. I ain't hollered at you in a minute. It's been a minute, bro. It's been a minute. I ain't seen you. But yeah, man, I'm gonna get to it. How many we got in the building? Couple 30 in the building, right? So 22 in the building. I can't see. I don't know if I'm ready yet with 22. That's just not. It's not cool. Y'all hit that like button too, man. Hit that like button for players. For the pseudo killer players. You know what I mean? 22,000. Yeah, I like that. I like that late show. That's funny shit though. But man, you know what? I'm just gonna get to it because I just want to make a short, quick video. You know what I mean? This ain't nothing too heavy. You know what I mean? A little light. Something that I've addressed before. I know people seen me address it and heard me address it before. But I just want to be clear when we talk about and when we talk about these, what's pseudo, what's detrimental to the community at large. You know what I mean? Like, to human beings, and especially the black community, where we hold on to certain things. We gravitate towards certain things. That's like I said, is detrimental. And I think one of them things that it's a certain region that I keep talking about, and this certain region is foundational to like most of the pseudoisms that I hear in this community. And the latest one, um, is the flat Earth. We went on the flat Earth channel yesterday. Well, the flat Earth ain't the latest. I mean, that's old shit, right? But I guess the latest topic that we've been dealing with, right, is the flat Earth. Or we about to approach that. We about to get into the flat Earth. And I heard some things last night on the Flat Earth channel. Brother Sanchez. Shout out to Brother Sanchez. Y'all go over and check that out, I guess, if that's what y'all want to do, right? The thing is, Brother Sanchez, and I was mistaken before because I thought Brother Sanchez was an atheist, but I must have misheard something somewhere, and I was mistaken or whatever. But this guy is a biblical guy, I guess. I heard some biblical references while him and Unc had the discussion, and Unc was he was very articulate in how he was explaining things, and I appreciated the way he handled himself last night. He represented the pseudo killers very, very well last night. Shout out to Brother Hunt. He definitely represented the pseudo killers very well, and I appreciate that. The things that Brother Sanchez was saying to rebut Brother it started to make me think about things, and all these things begin to sound the same to me, and not only that, it all ends back up in this region, in this certain region, in this certain world, in a certain time period, right? Antiquity, everybody want to appreciate antiquity, which fine. I see why we want to appreciate antiquity. I don't have a problem with appreciating antiquity, but I think we go far. I think we go too far with how much praise we give to antiquity, right? With how many things how much credit we give to antiquity, which they are due a lot of credit. I'm not gonna say they ain't due a lot of credit, right? But sometimes I think we're just not honest about things, out of trying to being respectful for the ancestors, I guess. I think that's another thing that kind of weighs us down, right? We can't say certain things, and certain things is taboo to go in those areas because we don't want to disrespect the ancestors, right? So we gotta stay stuck somehow. It blows my mind. But we get these regions, right? or this region, right? We get these cultures, and they all in this certain region, this Mediterranean region, this Middle Eastern region, or Near East region, or whatever. And once you get into that region, you start to um, get all of these cultures that we still yet um, we all hold dear to our hearts, right? And it's Christianity, it's Islam, it's Judaism, it's Egyptology, it's Greek mythology, um, it's all of these things, right? And we still, to this day, hold these thoughts, these cultures, these ways of life, this school of thought. We in the school of thought of those people in that time period, those time periods, I guess you should say, because it's a span of time, um, quite a span of time, um, which is understandable why we kind of hold these cultures and beliefs and schools of thought high, is because the span of time that they've been around, I guess, you know. But like I said, Brother Sanchez, he made me think. He said some things that made me think, and he talked about, the flat Earth, and he talked about how, God wouldn't put you in a place where you had to evolve. He said a number of things. I can't think of one thing really got me thinking, and I can't really remember what it was, man. And it was something biblical. He said most of what he said was biblical. Um, it's all from a biblical perspective, right? From a well, I don't know if the biblical people thought the Earth was flat. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I don't understand what all of that, right? But what he's doing is he's taking things out of the Bible. Now, whether he's taking it out of context, that's neither here nor there. That's not my argument, right? You can get into an argument with a Christian about that, right? But he's taking these things out of the Bible, and he's using it to navigate through everyday life, because he's saying things like, well, we just looking at nature and how it is, and and this. I heard one of the guys, because it was a guy that I'm familiar with, Fight the Flat Earth. He was on before, and I listened to it. And one of the guys said, "Man, you need to prove to me that the Earth is a globe, right? Without book shit." He was like, I don't want to hear nothing, not of a book. I want you to just prove to me that. It's like, what? This is crazy. The mindset, and we sit here and say that, oh, the Bible ain't harmful or religion ain't harmful, but they gonna pass that on to their kids, right? Like, flat earthers are conspiracy theorists, right? And they think everybody got to be lying to them. If you're a flat earther, like, there's no way around it. Like, everybody's got to be lying to you, from the teachers to the astrophysicists and everybody in between. Everybody's lying to you, right? But which is another ridiculous thing, you know what I'm saying? But this is how conspiracy theorists think, and this is what where that region it brings you to that. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I'm just using Brother Sanchez in that show as a reference because it's more recent. It's a more recent thing, right? But the elephant in the room, right, is this region, this like I said, this Middle Eastern, this Near Eastern, or whatever you want to, whatever you comfortable. I know everybody get in their feelings about what you call it, and it wasn't called this at this time, and that time it wasn't called it had 20 different names, so I don't give a fuck what you want to call it, the shit, right? It's not like when I say things that we oblivious and we don't know what I'm talking about. So, you know, like I'm really ready to stop that. That's irritating too. You know, the name tags, right? We getting all upset about a name tag, right? Put whatever name tag. When I say Middle East or far or Near East, put your own name tag on it, right? When I say Mediterranean region, you know what I'm saying? You know, when I say the Levant, the Levant, or however the hell you say it, I don't. Everybody be clowning me on how. To me, I'm comfortable with Levant, right? That's the way I want to do it, right? But yeah, that region, right? And now, you know, shout out to brother Cheffernell, right? You got the Sinai Peninsula. I mean, this whole region, right, is, let me tell you what this region brings. And the thing is, the region brings good things. Because, like I said, we still live in that culture. We still, today, the majority of the world is living a Mediterranean culture, right? Middle Eastern culture, right? Um, it's a certain area, it's a certain name for the specific region within the Mediterranean, right? I can't think of the name of it, right? Somebody might put that in the chat for me, but I don't know. Maybe I might not. But it's on the eastern side of that Mediterranean, right? It's a name for it, but that region, right? We still in that culture, still to this day. But let me tell you what that culture brings, and it's all the bullshit that plagues the black community, all the misinformation, right, that plagues the black community, right? Shout out to Haskell. What's up, Haskell? I ain't seen you in a while, bro. But uh the thing is, you get the crystals that comes out of all that Egyptian shit, the crystals and shit, the healing, the crystal healing and shit, which really is, I think, is really Hindu, but somehow they put it on Egypt. It's the shit's mind-boggling. Like I said, I don't really get into the shit, but I, this is how what I'm seeing, right? But you got the crystals, right? Uh, you got the anti-vaxxers, which is the Judaism and shit, right? Uh, what else you got? You got the flat earthers, right? Uh, you got crazy motherfuckers. You got the jihad, the 9/11. You get them crazy type motherfuckers, right? Uh, the 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 racism, white supremacy, all of that comes out of that Mediterranean area, that region and shit. How that is, um, um, anti the whole anti academia. You know what I'm saying? That comes from that whole pseudo region is pseudo. You know what I'm saying? Even in the Bible, it tell you somehow something about wise and the ignorant and all that bullshit. That God appreciate the ignorant niggas more than he appreciate the smart niggas, right? That's basically what I got out of that particular verse. I don't, believe me, like, don't ask me what verse it is, but I done heard it, believe me, because I've been to church and I heard the pastor tell you to open up to Psalms, whatever the hell it is. Who gives a shit, right? Because it don't make a difference in your life. When the bank want their motherfucking money for the mortgage payment, right? You can't read them Psalms, right? But anyway, it's crazy shit, right? But and what I'm the thing is, let me get to it. Let me get to it because I'm beating around the bush, right? I did this video because it's my brother right? And he don't understand my fight. He don't I don't think he understands my fight. I think he thinks that I'm out to get him, right? But I said all that, right? Um, to say so that Unc can see where I'm coming from, right? Like this whole Egypt shit, the whole Egypt thing, it breeds that. That's the whole region. Like he referenced brother Sanchez made an Egyptian reference last night to you to justify his flat earth. He referenced the you know the so I can't remember what he referenced because the shit it's always just slap crazy to me, right? But he referenced Egypt and the Geb and the Newton and all of this, right? He even the man. It was so funny. I don't know if he was on the panel, but the man showed what do you call that thing in the airplane? It's a tool in the airplane. I wish where my man's airplane James when you need him, right? But it had a color spectrum of like where you was at, like when you on the ground level was brown, and then it had the sky, and then it had another layer of the sky, I guess, right? And he was like, yeah, that's Geb and Newton and however the myth go, I don't know, but he made the Egypt reference, right? And tonight when we do Sunday night at the movies, right, we gonna play that because that was hilarious. I died laughing. That was hilarious. I don't care who you is. That Sanchez guy, that guy is funny. I don't want to have a conversation with him, right? I'm gonna let everybody else have a conversation with him, right? Because I can't. My nerves ain't that good, right? But that guy right there, that is a funny guy. That's a funny guy to me, man. But yeah. But I'm just trying to tell you that the whole wanting some kind of connection to Egypt and us African Americans appreciating Egypt in its culture, right? Um, I think that's poison. I think that's poisonous, bro. I know you, and don't get me wrong, I know you say, well, I know, I know Americans ain't Egyptians. I've heard you say that, and I just want to put that out there, you know what I mean? But somehow you making Nubians, I don't know. Listen, the whole thing over there, like, what I'm saying is, everything over there breeds poisonous. It breeds poisonous. It breeds poison into the community. It breeds poison into the pseudo killers, because we don't even disagree about much, right? But when it comes to Egypt, somehow we disagree vehemently, like to the highest degree we disagree, right? I don't understand that, right? But I'm just saying, if you can't, and then I always say, like, they all the same niggas, right? I keep telling people, like, just pull up a map. All you gotta do is pull up a map. Jerusalem is down the street from Egypt. Literally, Jerusalem is literally, Egypt is literally in the Levant. What do you want me to do about it? I didn't carve out the shape of the planet and the continents. What do you want me to do about that? Jerusalem, Jordan, all that shit is down the street from, literally down the street from Egypt. They call it the Levant. Egypt is in the Levant. What I always say before, they lie on each other, they kill each other, they make babies with each other, they put each other in their stories, they make up, they break up, they wear each other's clothes, they steal each other's intellectual property, they share tools and technology, they make more babies, they make up, they break up, they come and they invade each other's house and take over the house. Now it's his house for a minute, then it's his brother's house for a minute, and then next week it's his cousin's house for a minute. Like, I didn't write the history. I'm not the one writing the history. I didn't tell these guys to live like this. I'm not a geneticist, right? I'm not a linguist. All these things, genetics, linguistics, geography, culture, technology, all of all of these things, they make up who you are. And this is geographically where they at. And this is, they adapt. I mean, they adapt each other's culture, all, and trade it and refine it. And this person don't like the way they doing it over here. And they all the same people. I've been saying this since I've been on here. Yet somehow the black community is obsessed. Hear me, y'all. The black community is obsessed with these cultures. It's harming them. It's harming the black community. The culture is is actually harming the pseudo killers. Because maybe the audience might want to hear something else. They don't want to hear about Egypt and the Mediterranean and shit no more. Right? Maybe they don't want to hear that shit. Maybe they want to hear something else. Right? Then you got Wuja and Asar. And I'm gonna play another clip because Wuja pretty much kills everybody with the Mediterranean thing too, right? I'm gonna play a clip that was brought to my attention today, right? I forgot about it. Actually, I wasn't even on the panel. I didn't even hear this one, right? This was a pseudo killers video. I wasn't on the panel. I don't even think I watched the video, right? But I don't remember this one. But yeah, Wuja pretty much killed. But you got Asar and Wuja. Again, it's this Middle Eastern shit that's bringing the bullshit. Now Asar think he's dismantling the whole field of linguistics in his den with his computer and his printer in his den, right? Or better yet, in a fucking broke down car on the side of the road with a trash bag in the goddamn window, right? And you get him, he say shit, and my problem with Wuja is, bro, he's saying all this off the wall shit, right? And you sit on the panel with him, right? And you don't call him a silly nigga, right? You call me a silly nigga. Because I say all these niggas is the same niggas, right? That's silly to you, right? But I can prove it multi-discipline. I can go to multiple scientific disciplines and prove every word I'm saying. In multiple science, that's how you know when motherfuckers say, well, how can you know what the expert is saying? How do you check the expert? How do you check the expert? That's for Sean and all them silly ass niggas, right? How you check the experts, right, is you see what the other disciplines is saying. What they saying in the other discipline. You cross-confirm things through multiple disciplines. That's how you do it, right? That's how you be right on what the fuck you saying. That's how you use the experts, right? You go to different disciplines to talk about the different things that in the point that you're making, right? But back to Wuja, right? You call goofy. That's one of the words you like. You like to use the word goofy. But Wuja, I think you an intelligent brother, but I think you full of shit. I do think you full of shit, but I think you intelligent, right? And you sit on a panel with this guy, and you know he a goofy nigga, but you refuse to call him a goofy nigga. You let him talk that goofy shit about Bantu and the Negro Egyptian and all this old silly ass shit. Him and Obinga be talking, or not Obinga, but Mboli. Only him and Mboli is the authority, and he don't even know what the fuck Mboli's saying. This guy, Wuja, let me tell you, Wuja, this guy, your buddy, Asar, he's saying to people that he's an anthropological linguist. This is his practice. This is his field of study. his field of research, rather. This is his field of research. And you don't laugh at this silly ass nigga, Wuja. That's because Wuja, you really, I don't have a problem because we're gonna show at Sunday night at the movies that you've been backing me up the whole time. You've been in the car with me the whole time, right? And I just didn't realize it, right? I didn't realize it. And it's funny. It's funny though, right? Because you agree with me in a lot of things, but I'm the silly nigga. I'm the goofy nigga. I heard you refer to me that a couple times, but I'm not mad at. Don't take this like I'm upset about the name calling, right? I'm not a guy that gets upset about that, right? We good on that, right? Because some things you say I think is silly too, right? But the thing is, I'm fair with mine. I can say something is silly if it's silly. But my problem is when you're sitting on the panel and you co-signing and laughing and kikiing with a silly ass nigga, with a goofy nigga. Like you, cause the thing is, Wuja, what I'm saying is, bro, they boxing you in. You in the car with them. All the silly shit Asar say, niggas think you with that shit. They think you co-signing that shit. Believe me. You can say, oh no, the motherfuckers they hate when I say some shit, boy. No, it ain't. No, they don't believe that. Shit. Listen, bro. They think you co-signing all of that shit Asar saying. Because you sit on the panel and you agree with that shit. I done seen you sitting on the panel agreeing with it. It's funny to me. It's funny to me. It's funny to me. Chef Renell, what up? Shout out to Chef Renell. I see you in the building, bro. Hey, Chefrin, boy. Hey, one thing about Chefrin, even when he wrong, I'm gonna get in the car with him. Cause even if I know he wrong, he can be convincing enough. You know, when he come with his hard argument, boy, he can be convincing enough, right, to make me think about it. I mean, let me go back and reevaluate that. I'm in the car with you right now, but I'm gonna go reevaluate it later. You know what I mean? Nah, that's my homie though, man. That's my homie, Chef Renell, man, right? The Archbishop of Humanity. That's my name for him, right? But yeah, I ain't gonna go in on Wuja too long, though, man. Really, it's Asar, man. But I think Wuja, I think if you say that, if you keep it real and say what it is, right? I think it'll help the community out a little bit, right? Not that, because Wuja, nobody listens to Asar, believe me. No, he got 12, 13 motherfuckers in the room, right? When he go live. No one gives a shit about proto languages, right? No one gives a shit about like how does a proto language matter in your life today, right? I don't know. Maybe it does. But I don't know. I don't know how it does, right? But yeah. So shout out to Wuja. We gonna, like I said, me and you gonna be in the car later on that Sunday night at the movies. You gonna back me up, right? But really, all this, you know, the whole Asar thing. Now let's jump on Sean and them, the Mossy clan in the boys and all that, right? Because we touched on Sinetta, I believe. We touched on Amun Ra a little bit. And shout out to the Amun Ra squad, because once again, without the Amun Ra squad, it wouldn't be no pseudo killers. So we stand on the shoulders of the Amun Ra squad. Some of them. I think Asar, I've never, like, that guy's always been a silly nigga to me. He's always been sorry, brother. I know that's been your homeboy for a while, but that guy, between him and that Sinjetti, bro, I don't even know how you have a conversation with them niggas. I don't. For the life of me, I don't even know. Shout out to Chevron L again, right? Chevron L say you can't have a conversation with a pseudo, right? I'm getting a t-shirt. I'm getting that t-shirt made, right? That's gonna be fly. That's gonna be fly, right? I'm patenting that, right, Chef? So don't hate when I make $1 million off of it, right? When I say I made it and it's my intellectual product, right? And I did that by myself, right? Don't worry about it. I might give you 100,000 or something, right? A few dollars. I buy you something. I ain't gonna promise nothing, right? But anyway, I'm fucking with you. But yeah, I don't know how you have a conversation with them pseudos, huh? How? Like, since I tried. I remember it was me. It was a bunch of us on the panel, right? We was on the Real Black Atheists. Y'all can probably go back to the Real Black Atheists. This was before the pseudo killers even was jumping off, right? And I had a conversation with it was Wuja, it was Sinjetti, it was the whole Amun Ra squad. Sister Naya was on there. I ain't seen Sister Naya in a while. Shout out to Sister Naya. And Brother Dr. Ma'at wasn't on there. I don't believe Dr. Ma'at was on there. I can't remember if she was. I don't believe she was on there. But the whole Amun Ra squad, right, trying to convince me of some God belief, right? That Africans, I gotta look at things from an African standpoint, and that's the first time this is the first time I had a conversation with Sinjetti and all of them, really. I think this was the first time I had a conversation with all of them, besides like Brother we had already done a few shows and hooked up and all that type shit, and I had already been chopping it up with them. But so the whole Amun Ra squad is, y'all got to go back and listen to it, right? Because I'm like, yo, I'm an atheist, right? And they was trying to convince me that atheism is, I don't know what they was really trying to convince me of. But then they trying to, what I was arguing, no, they was trying to argue that I had a concept of God or something. And I'm like, no, I mean, I had a concept of God. I mean, it was a time where I did believe that, right? But I don't, right now, like when you're talking about God, like what do you talk? I don't understand. I don't know what you mean. Which one? First of all, like, is it literal? People got all kinds of gods, right? So I'm trying to tell them, like, no, I don't have a concept, like, because what I mean. God is all kinds of different shit that people make up off the top of their damn head. So how the fuck I got a concept of it, right? So then they tried to convince me that water is God, or the air. I don't know if it was water. I think it was water. It was water. and air. I think it was aired, and I think it was two different arguments. I think like Wuja went to the water argument, and then like Sinjetti was talking about air or something, right? Wild shit. It's a wild conversation. Y'all gotta go back. It's on the Real Black Atheist. It's still up. Y'all gotta go back and watch. It's probably about a 3-year-old video. It was probably 3 years ago, maybe by now, or maybe a little bit. I don't know. It's probably about 3 years ago. You know what I mean? So go back and check that out, man. Funny shit. Funny shit. And I'm running circles around all these silly ass niggas, right? To me, like, like I said, I like having conversations with Wu Jia because, we may disagree, but Wu Jia, in the end, he gonna be honest with you. In the end, you know what I'm saying? Now you might have to tussle to get it out of him, right? But in the end, I've seen it. Wu Jia gonna end up being honest with you. You know what I mean? In his own little way, in his own little special way. You know what I'm saying? Right? But the other niggas, Sinjetti and Asar, like them niggas always been silly. Like I've never understood how Unc had a conversation with the niggas, right? It's like Shepard said, you just cannot have a conversation with a pseudo. But anyway, back. Let's get it all back, because we done went all kinds of rabbit holes, right? All kinds of and I'm finna end it up here in a minute, because I know the pseudo killers want to go live, right? And brother probably want to cuss me out a little bit, so that's fine. No, he ain't gonna cuss me out. He already know a lot of what I'm saying, right? He already know how I feel about it, right? But I just, I'm just saying, like, I want Unc to see, like, all this pseudo shit, all of the shit that he fighting against, right? The shit that you always, the Real Black Atheists, you know what I'm saying, always spoke against, right? The charismatic leaders, the motherfuckers who can't be wrong, right? And mind you, right? I'm not saying like you've separated yourself, right? But I just want you to further. You gotta further detach from this Egypt shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm using all that as an example. I'm not saying that you down with that, right? Or you promoting that. You've already addressed all of that crazy shit that I've even laid out right now, right? But my thing is, I just want you to see the common denominator here. The common denominator. Let me get a 1 in the chat, right? If I'm not, listen, if y'all can see the common denominator here, right? This region that I keep talking about, all of this shit that I meant, from the crystals to the anthropological linguists to the flat earthers to the Hebrew Israelites to the anti-vaxxers, right? What's the common denominator? All of this. What's the common denominator, man? Can I get a 1 in the chat that the common denominator somehow is this region? All of these things that I'm speaking of, it goes back to this region, to Egypt, to Jerusalem. You can trace every one of those conspiracies, every one of those silly thoughts, every one of those con games, right?
you can trace them all back to one region. The biblical belief, the all, and it's all detrimental. All of it's detrimental. You got the Christians, Jews, and the Islam motherfuckers. They still fighting and killing each other. Still today, we can't even pass correct, sensible legislation. Right? They control the world. They can this silly shit controls the whole world. People base reality, the decisions they make in reality. We can even go to even like things like our Supreme Court. We basing Supreme Court decisions on things that came from that region, from those time periods. Still today, we want to fight against abortion and women's rights and all this shit. That's all biblical shit. And like I said, Brother Sanchez used biblical and Egyptian shit last night. See how it all ties in? How to once you go to using the Egyptian, it's easy to go to the biblical shit because it's all the same shit. It's all the same shit. It puts you in this thought process, this frame of mind where they said that the moon is a hologram. It's a hologram. You know, but again, I ain't gonna. A whole nother argument is when people try to come to me and talk about how, well, is this, you know. Let me tell you about. So this fine. We're gonna end that rant, right? And I'm gonna go into a small, short rant that ties into all of this, right? A small, short rant. I'm finna end this. I'm about to end it. I didn't even want to go this long, right? But we talk about Granny, our proverbial. This where me and Sheffrin beef at, right? Shout out to Sheffrin, right? You know the pseudo killers, we don't agree on everything, right? Me and Sheffrin got this proverbial Granny that we got, right? and he said, well, Granny, it's nothing wrong with Granny and what Granny do at church and this and that and the other. Granny raised family and this, yeah, you know, fine, Sheffrin. You right. It's not the way Granny did things, the way Granny did the religion. What I'm gonna say is semi-responsible, right? A lot of shit. I'm almost reluctant to say she did it semi-responsible. A lot of shit I can bring up, and I just don't. I done bashed the proverbial Granny enough, right? I done beat up on the proverbial Granny enough. She done took her ass whooping, right? And I don't want to put her in the grave, right? We want to hold on. We want to use her as an example a couple more times before we put her in the grave. Right? But the thing about Granny is Granny's not computer literate, so to speak, right? She's not internet savvy. Let's say that. Let's say she's not so internet savvy. Granny may know how to use a computer. You know, my granny can keyboard, right? You're right. You know, I don't know how much she can use a computer. Let me say that. I don't know that Granny can use a computer really, but I know she can keyboard. That's what I will say. Right. I don't want to give Granny too many credentials that she ain't got. But Granny is, we're gonna say Granny is not internet savvy, right? And and what I'm gonna say is, you get Granny savvy on YouTube and Facebook, Granny's gonna wind up a flat earther. Granny's gonna, cause they can literally, you can literally tie the Bible to the whole flat earth thing. And it makes, if you're a biblical person like my granny is, right? It's in the Bible, it's what the good Lord said. Granny ain't gonna never argue against what the good Lord said. I don't give a fuck who you is. If you can point it, if you can point to it in that book, in the good book, she on board 100%. If you can show it to her, and that's in the Bible, she on board with it 100%, all hands down, right? And like I said, if Granny get Granny on YouTube and Facebook and whatever, Twitter and all the rest of it, right? Granny gonna be a flat earther. I'm sorry, Sheffield. Granny's gonna end up a flat earther. Maybe that's harm. Maybe y'all don't want to hear that, and maybe that's not the nice thing to say, right? Maybe it's not nice. But like we say on the pseudo killers, if you want to hear nice, don't. You might want to turn the channel if you want to hear nice, right? But that's just the reality of it, right? It's the reality of the situation. It ain't my fault. It's just the reality of it. There ain't nothing I can do about it, right? But what I can do is try to make sure the future grannies, right? When my kids become grannies, right? That they don't be flat earthers and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's my fight. But anyway, man, I just wanted to chop it up and talk some shit, man, for a minute. Fuck with brother for a minute, man. You got to put the Egypt down. And also, we had a conversation earlier today. I forgot. You never went on live and said, yo, I agree with you, Cory. I agree with you on the whole Mediterranean thing. You was right on that. You was actually right on that. Now, I done that to you before. I've done that to you before. But I have yet to hear you say that to me, and that's kind of why I went on this rant, right? Just to pull it out. Either you think I'm wrong, right? And we still got beef and we still battling, right? Or you gonna give me my motherfucking due, my just due, right? You gonna tell the community you in the boat with me, you in the car with me, right? I was right about that. Right? It ain't no link, so stop talking about a link, right? We finna do start a link up. We finna do Sunday night at the movies. I'm finna show y'all how Wuja was in the car with me the whole time, and he been acting like he ain't been in the car with me. Been in the car with me the whole time, y'all. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm about to get out of here. Y'all know a lie will make it halfway around the world before the truth get out of bed and get his pants on, right? Hey, I saw you with your Be More shit on, right? All day today, right? You Be More from head to toe, right? You know what I'm saying? It's you know what I mean? Chi-Town. I even got Chi-Town in the background. Look at Michigan Ave. That's Michigan Avenue, baby. What up? What up? What up? Chi-Town, baby. Peace, though. Pseudo killers out. Peace. I don't even know how to stop this joint. How you do this shit, bro?